Go find yourself a chair if you want to. Have you all heard of your pulse before?
Yeah, right here.
Okay. Your pulse and your heart rate are the exact same thing. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to find our pulse. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take index finger, middle finger, just like this. Okay. Stretch your neck out a little bit to the side. Drag those two fingers right below your jawline. Right by, come on, work with me. Right by your Adam's apple, there's a little ridge. Should be able to feel your heartbeat. Everybody got it? Stay with it. You got it? Okay, when I say count, you're going to count the beats you feel to yourself. Ready? Count. Stop. What'd you get?
12.
What'd you get? 10?
9.
9? 7? Okay, sweet. Now we counted for 6 seconds. Okay? How many seconds are in a minute? 60. So I take 6 times 10, and I've got 60, right? Okay? So if I got 7 beats, I take 7 times 10, what have I got?
70.
So my heart rate is 70. If I got 9 beats, 9 times 10 is?
90.
90. If I got 12 beats, 12 times 10 is what?
120.
120. Okay? So it only takes us 6 seconds to find a heart rate. Is that your exact heart rate? Probably not, but it's pretty close, right? Okay? So we want to be able to find that quickly, because when we're exercising, we want to be in what's called, look at me, we want to be in what's called our target heart rate zone. Okay? How old are y'all?
12.
Okay? Y'all's target heart rate is about 130 to 180. Okay? When you're in that zone, your heart is getting stronger. Okay? What does your heart do?
Eat.
Pumps blood through your body, right? Okay? What happens when your heart stops?
No oxygen, you die, and the meter.
You're dead, right?
And the meter goes.
Okay? So if your heart stops, you die. It makes your heart pretty important, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So we want to have a nice, strong, healthy heart, right?
Yes.
Okay? So the stronger our heart is, the longer, healthier life you're going to have. Does that make sense? Okay? We want to fight off diseases like diabetes. Okay? Have you all heard of diabetes before?
Yes, my dad has it.
Okay? Diabetics have too much sugar in their blood. Okay? So their blood is thicker. Alright? It's kind of like if you ever drink a milkshake through a straw, you got to put some effort into it, don't you? It's not like drinking water, where it's pretty simple, right? Okay? Well, a diabetic's blood is kind of like a milkshake because it's got too much sugar in it, it's thicker. So it's harder on the heart to pump that blood all the way through their body. Okay? That's why a lot of diabetics, their hands and feet get cold real easy. Okay? Because they have poor circulation. The blood's not getting all the way through where it needs to get. Does that make sense? Okay? So, diabetes is a big problem all across the country. Okay? It's an even bigger problem here in Oklahoma because a lot of us here in the state of Oklahoma have Native American blood, right? Yes? Okay? Well, Native Americans are more at risk for diabetes than non-Native Americans. Okay? It's nothing that we did wrong. Okay? It's just kind of the way it is. All right? So, with that being said, can you change your heritage?
No.
You can't go back and change it? Nope. Okay? Family history is another risk factor for diabetes. Can you go back and change your family history?
No.
Nope. Your family's what you got, right? Okay? So those two risk factors we don't control. All right? We do control how much we exercise, though, right? Okay? Do we control what we eat?
Yeah.
Do we control what we drink?
Yes.
Do we control if we smoke cigarettes or dip snuff?
Yes.
Do we control if we do drugs, alcohol,
Yes.
other drugs?
Yeah.
Okay? So there's a bunch of things that we do control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And all those things work together. If let's say I exercise 5 days this week, does that mean I get to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes on the weekend?
No.
Kind of eliminates the purpose of it.
Yeah.
Okay? If I'm sucking down 14 sweet teas a day, even if I'm working out hard, am I still going to make my risk factor for diabetes go higher?
Yeah.
You bet. Okay? So those things all work together. Okay? You can't have one and not the other. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay? So, if we exercise for 3 days, at least 3 days a week, for 30 minutes per workout in the target heart rate zone, our risk for diabetes is cut in half. Okay? That's an hour and a half a week. Is that a huge time commitment? Not at all. Okay? So it's important, and we talked about being in the target heart rate zone. What's y'all's target heart rate zone again?
130 to 180.
130 to 180, very good. Okay? Let's say we're working out, okay? About every 8 to 10 minutes, we need to stop, check our heart rate. Okay? Is stopping for 6 seconds to check your heart rate, is that going to screw up your workout? No, not at all. Okay? Let's say I've been working out for 10, 12 minutes and I check my heart rate and I'm at 90. Am I in the target zone? No. Nope. What do I need to do? I need to pick it up. Okay? So if I'm at 90, I'm not working very hard anymore. Okay? The great thing about the target heart rate zone is it doesn't matter what you do to get into the target heart rate zone as long as you look up. Look at it. All right? Doesn't matter if it's walking the dog, going for a jog, riding the bike, chasing my little sister around the backyard, playing basketball, swimming, makes no difference. Okay? It just matters what your heart rate is. Does that make sense? Okay? So let's say I check my heart rate again later on in my workout. Now I'm at 190.
You're too high.
I'm too high, aren't I? Okay? What do I need to do?
Slow it down a little bit.
Back off a little bit. Take a drink. Do something. Okay? To slow down. It's just like in your dad's car, if your dad revs the engine up to a red line for too long, what happens eventually to the engine?
Mixed up.
It either overheats or it might blow up, right? Okay? Your heart is the same way. If I rev my heart up, okay, at 200 beats plus a minute for an extended period of time, eventually I'm going to have some problems, aren't I? Yes?
Yes.
Okay? So it's important that we stay in that zone. As you get older, your target heart rate zone will go down. Because as you get older, your resting heart rate will go down as well. Okay? When you're an old man like me, your target heart rate zone will be like 110 to 170. Okay? So then it just goes down as you get older. Make sense? Okay? Now, let's talk about how hard it is to get into your target heart rate zone. Okay? If you're a fat old man like me, okay? Let's take me and who was the dude that won like 87 gold medals at the Olympics in the swimming?
Michael Phelps.
Michael Phelps, okay? Michael Phelps is in pretty dang good shape, right? Okay? I'm not in very good shape, right? So, thanks for agreeing with it so quickly. Okay? So if Michael Phelps and I, we jump in the pool, okay? We swim 2 laps, all right? Do you think I'm going to be in my target heart rate zone? You don't think so?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
I'm going to be at it or over it, right? Okay? Because that's pretty hard work swimming 2 laps, huh? When you're out of shape like me. Okay? Michael Phelps swims 2 laps. Does that even affect his heart rate? Not much, right? Okay? So the more in shape you are, the harder you have to work to get into the target heart rate zone. Which that's a good thing. That means your heart's in shape. Does that make sense? Okay? I could go run. If I touched that Chevy over there and ran back, I'd be in the target zone by the time I got there. Okay? Now, once you're in the target zone, does that mean you can just sit and hang out?
No.
Because if we rev it up real high and then we go sit down for 10 minutes, what's going to happen to your heart rate?
It's going to go down.
It's going to be nothing, you know. It's going to go right back to where it was to start with, right? Okay? So that's why it's important we check our heart rate about every 8 to 10 minutes or so during a workout to make sure we're in that target zone. Okay? Which y'all's target zone is what again?
130 to 180.
Okay? We need to work out at least how many days a week?
3.
At least 3. Does that mean that I can't work out more than 3 days a week?
No.
I can work out 7 days a week if I want to, can I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But nobody wants to.
All right. Now, if I work out for more than a half hour, is that bad? It's okay, right?
It's good.
Okay. The more, obviously, you don't want to overtrain, and there's such a thing as too much exercise. Okay. But as long as you give yourself a day off, if you're taking 1 day off a week, you're probably in pretty good shape. Okay. So, do, we're gonna get up, spread out a little bit. All right. Now, you remember what your heart rate was before, right?
Yes.
All right, we're gonna do 20 jumping jacks. You ready?
Yeah.
Count them with me out. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now find your heart rate. And count. Stop. What'd you give?
15.
27? Is your heart going to jump out of your chest? All right, sit down, relax. You get on the wall. All right. So doing 20 jumping jacks, almost all of us were already in the target zone.
Yeah, or over.
Relax. Okay. Now, obviously the key is staying in that zone. Does that make sense? Okay. Now we talked about diabetes, right? What is diabetes problem? They have too much what?
Sugar.
Too much sugar, right? Okay. So by exercise, I can reduce my risk for diabetes, right? Okay. Now my diet has something to do with it too, right?
Yeah.
If I'm eating a bunch of sugar and candy all the time, is my risk for diabetes going to go up?
Yes.
You bet. Okay. It also affects what I drink, right? We all want to suck down Gatorades, right? Gatorade's awesome, right? Okay. If you're active and you're sweating a bunch, Gatorade's a good option, isn't it? Okay. If you're lounging around the house playing Xbox all day,
No.
is Gatorade a good choice? Why?
Because that's like, Gatorade's really high sugar.
Very good. It's got a boatload of sugar in it, doesn't it? Okay. A Gatorade actually has more sugar in it than like a Coke.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Dang.
Okay.
Were you serious?
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
No, I'm being serious. Okay. Well,
What
I
about Powerade?
Powerade even worse. Okay. So it's like, you know, those Monster Energy drinks you guys like to drink?
I don't like those.
Okay. You might as well take 2 cups of sugar and just dump it down your throat.
Oh, dang.
Okay. It's gross.
Dad, 4 minutes.
Thank you. All right. So those things are important. It's important if I'm smoking cigarettes or dipping stuff, is my risk for diabetes going to go up?
Yeah.
Big time. Okay. What if I'm drinking alcohol?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about other drugs?
Yes.
Okay. So all those things are risk factors for issues down the road. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So we want to make sure that we work out in our target zone as much as we can. All right. How long does it take to find your target heart rate zone?
6 seconds.
6 seconds, right? Okay. Now remember, if we're not in that zone, we need to do what?
Drink water and.
We need to work harder, pick it up.
Oh, the zone.
Okay. What type of exercise do you think we can do to get in the target heart rate zone?
Push-ups.
Do push-ups, running,
Jumping jacks.
jumping jacks,
Everything.
anything,
lifting
right?
weight.
I'm not really a fan of push-ups, but I gotta say push-ups.
Well, that's fine too. Okay. It doesn't matter what exercise we're doing, right?
No.
Okay, it just matters what your heart rate is. Okay, because if I want big, strong biceps, a big chest, okay, I go to the gym, I lift weights, right? Okay, if I want to get lean, I might do some running, do some sit-ups, things like that, right? Do some aerobics. Okay, that's good. Ride the bike. All right. Have you ever been to a gym and seen a heart machine?
No.
A machine that's just for your heart.
No, I went to the
I went to
They don't-
Walmart and
yeah,
put
that-
your arm in it. And
That's blood pressure, bro.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there's no such thing as a heart machine, right? There's no specific exercise that makes your heart stronger.
It was a trick question.
Exactly.
Like the snow snake.
There you go. All right. So you want to make sure if you want your heart to be healthy, you got to work out in the target zone. Okay. Are we good? Okay. So at least how many days a week are we going to work out?
3.
At least 3. For how long?
For 30